I am 1 in 18. This month is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, so understandably, this video is going to come with a lot of trigger warnings. Sexual assault, rape, eating disorders, self-harm, suicide and suicidal ideation, and potentially quite a few more. So if this is triggering for you, please click off. Please take care of yourself, because this is going to be a difficult one to go through. Also, if you are sticking around, I would recommend grabbing a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, a drink of some kind, and a snack, because this is going to be a long one, and yeah, please hear me out. As I said at the start of this video, I am 1 in 18. 1 in 18 men are victim survivors of rape or sexual assault. Additionally, most perpetrators of sexual assault and rape are men. ONS data shows us that 98% of all perpetrators are men. This is also an important thing to remember when we see people like Trump and who he's inviting specifically into that White House, and you know, the kinds of people that I'm not even going to mention all their names, because you know who they are and who's recently been convicted as well. So it's very insidious and disgusting. However, this does not negate the fact that there are some perpetrators of rape and sexual assault that are women. This will not be the main focus of this video. However, I want to address how important it is that there are victim survivors whose perpetrators are women. Sexual assault thrives in silence, shame, manipulation, and power imbalances. For me, all of my perpetrators, or the ones that perpetrated sexual abuse towards me, were men. Men that I knew, men that I went to school with. Predominantly, they were all either the same age as me or older. They were people I knew. They were people I trusted. They were people who harmed me in unimaginable ways, and left me really broken. I was manipulated to stay silent for a really long time. Things like this happened in school, in changing rooms, in homes, places that I meant to feel safe, and I didn't. They all somehow blamed me for their lack of self-control, yet I was the one that had to carry the burden for many, many years, decades in fact. Many survivors of sexual assault do this. This is why often they can't say anything for months, years, sometimes even decades before they come forward and say something. And also, some people never say anything because, quite frankly, it is too painful to relive. Recently, there has been so much discourse around why didn't she speak up earlier? He's only doing it now to ruin that person's career. Why didn't they speak up? I have something to say around that. The false accusation rate for sexual assault and rape is 2 to 4%, which is no higher than any other crime's false accusation rate. We have generations of men genuinely terrified of being falsely accused of rape and sexual assault, yet they themselves are 230 times more likely to be raped or sexually assaulted themselves. This creates harmful space for victim blaming instead of taking accountability for the rampant misogyny and, quite frankly, the ridiculous levels of abuse that these perpetrators are getting away with. We still don't address their lack of self-control, self-awareness, or self-respect, which causes them to do these things. And the twisted justice system that we live under. You know, the same justice system that prioritizes the education and safety of a male Belgian gynecology student because his future was so bright, instead of focusing on the fact that there were real allegations, real proof, a real guilty verdict. But no, his future's too bright. So, you know, we'll let him carry on assaulting women as he goes into his career of gynecology. Make that make sense, please. The same justice system that ignores male victim survivors who have been assaulted by women specifically, it gets looked over because men are meant to enjoy sex. This is so messed up. And the same real life misogyny that we saw in play in adolescence, as Jamie said that he could have touched her if he wanted to, but he didn't, is terrifying. As Giselle Pellico rightfully says, shame must change sides. I am sick and tired of carrying the burden of shame that has led me to unhealthy eating habits that has left me starving. The burden of shame that caused me to harm myself repeatedly. the burden of shame that made me believe that my life was no longer worth living. To this day, I am still recovering from the memory loss that I endured during some of the intense trauma. So I will not be silent. I will not be silent on misogyny, sexism, incel culture, oppressive systems, everything that is trying to hold people down in such a way that people can get away with rape and sexual assault. I will not be silent because 1 in 18 men, 1 in 4 women, and 1 in 6 children are victim survivors of rape and sexual abuse, according to Rape Crisis England and Wales. And if we're being completely honest, due to the stigma of sexual assault and rape, these statistics are likely underreported because so many people are too terrified to come forward. Many cannot come forward, many cannot revisit the pain. Some people do revisit it, and props to those people, but so many of them are ignored. Too many of us ignore survivors when they are speaking. So I won't be silent until you hear them, until you hear us, until you hear me, because no one deserves to be raped. No one deserves to be assaulted. And if somehow you still believe that some people deserve it because of how they dress, present, identify, believe, or exist, you too are part of the problem. Let's really start to not just hear, but believe survivors, because you have no idea the strength it takes to say, he raped me, she touched me, they assaulted me. This month, like every month, I'm sending extra special love to all survivors. I hear you, I see you. I am you and you are me. God bless you and protect you, and I pray that we all continue to heal.